My name is Espie, and I'm going to show you today how I make my Spanish rice. These are the ingredients that I use to make the rice. I use the jasmine rice. I use jasmine rice. I like it because it doesn't break. 2 cups of rice, 2 whole tomatoes. I use 1/4 of an onion, slice it, and then 2 garlic cloves. I also use bone broth. You can use water or you can use chicken broth. And then for this we use 2.5 cups. I also use any vegetable that you would prefer, like corn, or I'm going to use carrots. So I use 1 cup of carrots. I use 1/2 of a tablespoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of chicken broth powder. So first, we gotta cut up the tomatoes in 4 pieces and place them in a container to put them in the micro. You can put them in the microwave for 2 minutes, or you can put it in water and boil, whatever you prefer. I like to put them in the micro for 2 minutes. That way it takes less time. So in the micro for 2 minutes. Okay, the tomatoes are ready, and this is what they look like. And we're going to put them in the blender, all of it. Now we're going to use another ingredient that I didn't mention, but we're going to use oil. I use olive oil or grapeseed oil, and we use like 2 tablespoons. And this is where we're going to fry the onion and the garlic. Okay, the garlic and the onion, they are roasted like this. So I'm going to put that with the tomato in the blender. This is what adds flavor to the rice. Once we do that, we can put the rice in the same oil where we fried the garlic and the onion to kind of brown a little bit, or fry it a little bit. Meanwhile, I'm going to put the salt, not the salt, the chicken broth powder, and blend everything, the tomato, the garlic, the onion. So after 2 minutes, you can stop the blender. And then continue mixing the rice so it'll brown a little bit. It's going to start to look like white. Don't burn it, but kind of move it around as much as you can until, and I use medium heat to do this so it doesn't burn. You do it like for 3 to 4 minutes. You can see how the rice is turning a little bit white, some of it, and it's clearing up a little bit. So when that happens, you keep on turning a little bit for another minute or 2, and it should be ready. So after 2 minutes, you get your broth ready, shake it really well. If you use water, you need to warm it up or use room temperature water or chicken broth. This is a room temperature, so I want to use it straight from the container. So now the tomato sauce, I'm going to pour it over. Lower the heat so it doesn't stick too much. And then next, I am going to measure 1, 2.5 cups of the bone broth. Two and a half cups. Mix it a little bit, and then you can use the salt to your taste. I use 1/2 teaspoon. And then in here you can add whatever vegetable you like. I'm going to use carrots. And then you bring up the heat so that it'll start boiling. I always like to kind of check for salt because sometimes it's not enough, but usually 1/2 tablespoon is enough. But if you like it a little more salt, then you can pour more to taste as you like. So I'm going to let it start to boil. You can cover it, then let it come to boil. And once it starts boiling, we lower the heat to a very low. Okay, now it's boiling, and you can kind of mix it with a spoon so it doesn't stick to the pan. And then put the cover again and lower the heat to low. And you leave it there for 10 to 15 minutes, and you check on it. If it's dried in the bottom, it's ready. Okay, it's been 15 minutes since we let this rice cook, and this is what it looks like. It's ready. So we're gonna serve and try. You turn off the fire. It's very hot. But we like hot rice. Very good. We reached the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you and God bless. Adios. I'm going to show you how I make my Spanish rice. So thank you for tuning in. I use bone